Imagine someone you know vanishing without a trace. No clues, no goodbye, just questions left hanging in the air. This isn't a work of fiction. It's the real-life disappearance of Karen Hall, an unsolved case that still haunts everyone involved. Tonight we dig deep into the mystery, peeling back layer after layer. But fair warning, this story may have you glancing over your shoulder. Karen Hall was a bright young woman in her mid-20s, full of dreams, plans, and an infectious love for life. She was the type of person who lit up a room, making others feel lighter just by being there. Karen lived in a small town where everyone knew each other, an old-fashioned place with a slow pace, a place where secrets lay buried in attics and unmarked fields. On a chilly winter night in 1982, Karen met up with friends at a cozy café on Main Street. She laughed, swapped stories, and appeared to be her usual cheerful self. It was supposed to be just another Friday night, but as Karen left the café to meet her boyfriend at a nearby diner, she stepped into a darkness far thicker than anyone could have imagined. And that was the last time anyone saw Karen Hall. Have you ever had that friend who always says, "On my way," but they're actually just leaving home? Well, Karen's delay that night was no simple mix-up. Her story was about to take a dark turn. Narration. When Karen failed to arrive at the diner, her boyfriend thought she was simply running late. He waited, checking the clock, watching every passing car, until his worry turned to dread. After several unanswered calls and hours of pacing, he contacted her family and then the police. A full-scale search was launched at dawn. The police combed through town streets, nearby fields, riverbanks, and every dark alley they could find. Friends and family distributed flyers, and neighbors whispered as they walked past the diner, now ghostly in its emptiness. Days turned to weeks, and Karen's once hopeful family found themselves teetering on the edge of despair. Then 2 weeks into the search came a chilling discovery. Karen's car was found abandoned in an open field, 10 miles from town. The car looked as if it had been parked hastily, left with the driver's door open and keys still in the ignition. Her winter coat, a coat she would never leave behind, was carefully folded on the passenger seat. What was Karen running from that night? And who, or what, could have been pursuing her? As investigators scoured the field, they couldn't shake the feeling of being watched, an unsettling sensation that crept up their spines. Nearby residents began whispering about strange shadows moving across the field on the night Karen disappeared. Shadows that seemed to move without anyone there to cast them. While some dismissed it as small-town rumors, others were convinced a sinister force was at work. I know what you're thinking. Shadow people? Really? It sounds like a plot twist from a horror movie. But to the people of this town, the fear was very real. The days had dragged on, and as leads dried up, the case grew colder. Investigators were left with theories that grew wilder with each passing day. Witnesses stepped forward claiming they'd seen Karen the night she vanished, but each story seemed to contradict the last. One witness reported hearing a scream in the dead of night echoing from that field. Another claimed to have seen Karen's car speeding past, chased by something. But when pressed, the details never matched up. A dark figure? A stray dog? Some described it as something more otherworldly. No one could agree. Then, an elderly resident had shared a spine-tingling story, recounting local legends about the field where Karen's car was found. According to these old tales, the field was a crossroads, a place where spirits roamed freely. It was said that over the years, people had vanished near this spot. never to be seen again. Coincidence? Or could these old stories hold a shadow of truth? Almost a year later, a tip came in from a stranger claiming to have seen Karen alive in a remote town hundreds of miles away. Clinging to hope, her family and investigators tracked down the lead, their hearts racing with anticipation. But once again, they faced heartbreak. It wasn't her, just another dead end, another ghost of hope that faded away. Decades later, Karen's story has become a dark legend in her hometown, a cautionary tale whispered around fires. Some believe she left on her own, hiding somewhere far away, lost but alive. Others say her spirit lingers, forever bound to that field, waiting for the truth to be revealed. For her family, though, the ache of not knowing remains, a silent sorrow that refuses to fade. As we close this haunting mystery, if you found this story intriguing, check out our next video on a subject that might just change how you see the world: the power of compounding. It's an equally fascinating journey, with a bit more light at the end of the tunnel. Find it on the end screen. Thanks for watching, and remember to stay curious, because the truth is often stranger than fiction.